You know, folks, I've admitted many times here on the channel to being naive about a lot of things. One of the things that I was naive about is back when George W. Bush was president. During the middle of like his second term, I was thinking to myself, okay, we just got a few more years to go and this guy will be gone and we will never have anyone this stupid again. I thought to myself, you know, no matter who the Republicans cook up next, they can't be as stupid as W because they actually had a calendar called Bushisms. It was 365 dumb quotes from George W. Bush. And every day you could pull off like January 1st, dumb quote, January 2nd, all the way to December 31st. And I thought, man, we've got a president who has a calendar dedicated to 365 dumb things that he said. And then they made a volume 2 of that calendar. So I said to myself, that we'll never one up W. And then along comes John McCain, and what does he do? I'm thinking, okay, McCain, yeah, I can handle McCain. McCain's okay. I don't agree with him, but, you know, the guy seems reasonable. He seems more presidential. I mean, he did serve his country. Okay. But then what does he do? He brings out Sarah Palin, and she becomes an instant Saturday Night Live skit hit instantly. And I say, oh, man, they could never top this. And then along comes people like Michelle Bachmann. Remember her? Then along comes people like Ted Cruz. And it just keeps snowballing till pretty soon you're almost saying to yourself, man, you know, do these people really, are we supposed to take them seriously? Are they insulting our intelligence? Are we being punked? Is this some kind of joke? And you say to yourself, if you're the creators of Saturday Night Live, you're just sitting back waiting like, please give me more of that, because they're just writing it for them. And just when you think it can't get no worse, then along comes Trump and you realize, oh my God, he just brings out all the crazies. We get Marjorie Taylor Greene. We get Matt Gaetz. We get Lauren Boebert. We get Mark Robinson. And who does he pick for his VP nominee? He picks J.D. Vance, who has been so cringe. And I meant to say Ron DeSantis because when Ron DeSantis attempted to run for president, I said in my videos, I have never seen a more awkward candidacy. This guy is so cringe. He's so bad. It could never get any worse. And now the more I watch J.D. Vance, the more I know somewhere is Ron DeSantis sitting back without his little platform shoes on going, I can just walk around in flip-flops now. It don't matter because this guy has absolutely won up me. I can't believe that Vance is more cringe than DeSantis. But he made it. He's there. And this next clip I'm going to show you, we're going to watch this one together. I'm just going to react to this one in real time as I'm watching it because he goes to a grocery store and begins talking about the prices of eggs. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, folks. I truly ain't. But if I was, I would begin to question, is this guy literally just trying to blow it for him? Is he just trying to lose? Did he really mean it when he said that Trump was America's Hitler? Did he really mean it when he said Trump exploited the people in Appalachia? And is this his way of getting back? I can't really give him that much credit for being smart enough to pull that off. But man, we're going to watch this one here together. And folks, get ready to crack up because the reason I want to watch it with you is because there's just so much to react to as we go along. It's so cringe, but let's take a look. This is hilarious.
Guys, how you doing? What's up, man? How are you? Good to meet you. What's your name, sir?
What's your name?
Raymond. Oh my God.
Okay. All right. God bless you, Raymond. Thank you so much. Going this way? Okay.
This is worse than the donut shop. Just get ready.
We get clear out this area. Yeah. Good. Clear out this way. Thank you. Yeah. God bless you, man. Remember to vote by November 5th. All right, we're sitting right here, right? Oh, right here, sir. Okay.
I can't imagine being the people standing around this, watching this unfold.
No, you're fine. All right, guys. Now here, I'm going to talk for like 3 minutes. Can you guys act like normal kids for 3 minutes? Not going crazy? All right. First of all, it is... Can you guys act like normal kids for 3 minutes while I talk? I've got something important to say here. I'm going to pose in front of these eggs. Could you please just be normal? You can't make this up. I mean, if I'm an SNL writer, I'm like, we hit the jackpot with this. It's wonderful to be here, Michelle and Angelica. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for your incredible business, and thanks for being great leaders here in the community. It's a great place, and we're thrilled to be here. I do think, unfortunately, looking at the prices here, things are way too expensive, and they're way too expensive because of Kamala Harris's policies. I mean, look, yes, buddy, you want some eggs? Let's talk about eggs, because these guys actually eat about 14 eggs every single morning. Is that right?
14 eggs.
Whoa. We'll be careful about this. Eggs, when Kamala Harris took office, were short of $1.50 a dozen. Now a dozen eggs will cost you around $4 thanks to Kamala Harris's inflationary policies. Pennsylvania actually has seen.
Okay, the problem with that, folks, is he's standing. He's holding 2 dozen eggs in his hand, talking about a dozen. I don't know if he's just an idiot or what, but behind him is the price that says $2.99 as he's saying this. This is comedic gold.
Some of the worst grocery price increases of the entire nation, and again, it's because she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Explosion Act. I think we want Pennsylvanians to be able to afford groceries. We want our young families to be able to buy food at a reasonable price at the grocery store. And the only way to do that is to get back to common sense economic policies and fire Kamala Harris. This is a person who's presided over $1,000 increase in monthly expenses just to afford the same life you could have afforded 3.5 years ago. It costs you over $1,000 a month here in Pennsylvania. We can do so much better. We certainly will. And as the father of a couple of kids who eat a whole lot, we certainly need to do better for the next generation. God bless you guys.
That has got to be. He outdoes himself every time. Every time he gets in front of a camera, he outdoes himself. Goes to a store, stands in front of the eggs that says $2.99 behind him. It says that a dozen eggs is over $4. It's just, you can't make this stuff up. But if you're SNL, you're having a field day. If you're an up and coming comedian. And I watch so many. One of my favorite impressionists is a guy named Matt Friend. I love that dude. He does the best Howard Stern impression I've ever heard in my life. Great Mitch McConnell impression. He does a really good Trump. And I'm sitting there thinking, he's got to be thrilled that Vance is out there doing this stuff, because when he takes the stage to impersonate someone, he can absolutely impersonate JD all day long, and he's got an endless flow of material. I just can't believe that this is where we're at. We live in a world where people takes people like that seriously. And the thing about Vance is he always likes to go, well, Americans are struggling. And, the grocery bill is high. People can't afford food. You know what's funny? If they would just stick right there and just stay right there and not move off that, and if they would come up with ideas and solutions on how to actually fix those problems, they might actually stand a fighting chance. But when you go on national television and you admit out loud into a live microphone that you're creating stories just to get people to talking, when you're admitting that you are trying to distract people, you're saying it right out loud. He doesn't even try. He doesn't even try to rein it in. And goes out to these places like when he was at the donut shop. How long you been here? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. How long you been here? Cool. The guy is so awkward. And something too that people don't talk about enough. We talk about him being weird. We talk about him being awkward. But can we point out how inexperienced he is at this? Because there was a time when that mattered. There was a time when if you picked someone to run alongside you, you wanted to pick someone who was a student of the game, who was very seasoned, who knew what they were talking about, and who could do the best job ever of backing up what it is you're saying. You want that VP on the campaign trail to be behind you, much like Tim Walz is Kamala Harris, just driving the points home harder. And you want people to get excited about that person. Trump picks J.D. Vance, who just goes out there and just continues to make a mockery out of the whole thing. And I'm telling you, if I was a conspiracy theorist, I would start to go, is this guy a plant? Is this guy trying to get revenge? What is he doing? Because I didn't think anyone could be as cringe as DeSantis, and he makes DeSantis look kind of normal now. It's so weird, but it clearly comes off like a guy who doesn't have the experience. And I remember a time when if someone looked that inexperienced on a campaign trail, it would be pointed out. Someone would be saying, you know what? This guy can't even handle himself in a donut shop. This guy can't even handle himself in a grocery store. This guy stood there with 2 dozen eggs in his hand and claimed that a dozen eggs was $4 with the sign right behind him that they were $2.99. This guy does not know what he's talking about. This guy doesn't have the temperament to be in office, and he clearly doesn't have the experience. But these are the people, too, that says the vice president is in charge of everything because Kamala should have already fixed our problems. Doesn't matter who Trump picks, but he picked J.D. Vance. So if something were to ever happen with Donald Trump, that would be the president of the United States. And even if you are the biggest MAGA supporter in this world, do you truly believe J.D. Vance has the experience deep down in your gut? You know he don't. No reasonable, sane person would believe that. I think folks, if we be honest with you, I think the only reason a lot of MAGA people goes along with this crap is just because of the cruelty, just because of the hatred, just because it empowers them to hate other people, and because they have people in their lives who are progressive minded, liberal minded. They have that family member who they just can't stand, and they want to see them lose, not realizing that if Kamala loses in November, we all lose, and not realizing they themselves lose. The thing is, Trump and Vance could walk all over them from now on, never leave office, and they would never realize it because they've already been preconditioned to think a Democrat is the blame for everything. They already think that. And it's absolutely crazy. But in any other time, in any other world, someone would say, he don't have the experience. He can't really handle himself very well in these situations. But in MAGA land, they just keep doubling down. But folks, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this video, and I thank you guys for doubling down on hitting that subscribe button. We just keep growing every day here on the channel. Every day when I refresh to see how many subscribers I've got, I've gained like 1,000. It's amazing that you guys are still out there supporting what I do and coming here every day. I really appreciate that. You know, I'm just a guy sitting here just trying to reason my way through this world. And it's very therapeutic for me, if I'm being honest with you. There's times it gets heavy. There's times I need to take a little break and get away and clear my head. But it's therapeutic to me to sit here and talk these things out with you guys. And I appreciate you so much for listening. So if you haven't already, be sure to hit the subscribe button. And thank you for tuning in. As long as you guys keep tuning in, I'll keep telling you the truth.